Well, today's video is going to be about dip and chew. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be dip versus chew, but yeah, we'll throw that in there a little bit. It's more of a comparison video and people that are new to dipping. So I'm just going to throw it straight out there. I dip and I chew. I've actually switched from vaping. This little handy thing. It's actually off, but this thing is not the greatest in my opinion. Like, I really like it, but if you abuse it, I'll just show you. Like, if you abuse it, you will get like more of a roughness. Oh, it's something on my phone. See, there's nothing even like that's just because liquid. But like vaping, I didn't like it because I think I abused it. I know that sounds crazy, and everyone's like, you can't abuse it, but I did. And I just kept using it, and my throat was hurting really, really bad because I would just get there constantly. That's probably really sensitive to the mic on here. Sorry if the lighting is bad, but I was just going to compare the dipping versus chew because I found out something very useful. And if you see me spitting today, it's going to be in a Kool-Aid thing because I do not have enough money for a mud jug. Well, I do have money for the mud jug. It's just they were like $40. I don't have $40 to just throw on a mud jug right now because when you're adulting, you're an adult. You have bills, you have priorities, you have stuff you got to get done. Another thing, I'm just going to throw this out there. People pack the cans. If you want to pack a can, put your middle finger out there and just... Or you can just be like those wild people. Man, I knocked it off. Hitting it like that. So remember, that's the first tip if you're going to start dipping. Is just put your middle finger on there, wrap your thumb around like that. This is how I do it. You just slowly let your finger and you just... Flick the wrist. When it's a newer can, you necessarily don't have to do that, but when it starts getting down there and you want to get a better pinch, you can, especially with Copenhagen, since they're long cuts, but Copenhagen mint straight, have some wintergreen back there, but the long cuts are not necessarily going to be as long as something as such as a Stoker, because Stokers would be, they're a little smaller. Now chew's completely different in my opinion. Now, this is where it's going to get weird. I actually prefer chew over dip now. I don't know that actually because I just tried. I dipped some Copenhagen mint earlier after I've been chewing for 2 days straight, and it was actually quite nice. The flavor wasn't the greatest. So this is where we compare them. I'm actually going to put some in a minute anyway. So you have your Cope mint, right? Fine and brittle, breaks up. Now with dip, it's going to be finer, even though it's long cut compared to chew. Everyone probably knows that, but if there is any young people that are going to start doing it, that's just how it is. You're going to pack it in your lip, and you're probably going to get a bigger buzz off of it too, even if you put in a little bit, because chew is something it's just stringier, it's longer, you can pack it in there, you can move it around, more mobility in your mouth without crumbling, and you can just put it in there, you can gnaw on it a little bit. Gnaw on it and squeeze the juice out when it gets dry, and it juices pretty good. Darker spit, I noticed, from chew and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and put some in. You already, guys, if you have dip, you know what dip probably looks like now. Let me find some chew. Chew's more like this. Now I usually put more than that in there, but I'm running low, and I'm just dumped half of it out almost. But I'm just gonna. See, I don't want to show my teeth. I don't know what they look like. That ain't from dipping. That's just messed them up. You don't necessarily have to do that. I just spit every time I put it in there first. But Durango, see, that is an amazing flavor. I actually prefer chewing over dipping because, like I said, with dipping, it's going to have smaller pieces of glass. It's going to have the small pieces of glass that shards or whatever, or something in there that cuts open your gums. Not really bad. You don't even notice it. I guess that would be where the burning and nicotine gets in your bloodstream that way. You get a bigger buzz. Chew does not have that. It's just something you put in there and you gnaw on it. Now, both of them probably have the same negative bad effects because it's both tobacco and you are putting it in your mouth. But it is different. Like I said, chew's longer. You're not going to get a huge buzz. And to be honest, with my experience, Durango chewing tobacco, it is very flavorful. Like I'm telling you, it's really flavorful. It tastes sweet. It's almost like a dessert dipping. Honestly, if you're going to dip and chew like I would, you chew if you're driving I was just, if, well, yeah, I would chew if I was driving, after meals, certain like that in the morning, and I would dip for, just have your dip for your normal day, but have like chew as like a special thing, like certain situations where you need to chew. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm trying to get it out because it's kind of hard to talk with it. Not because it's anywhere, it's just going everywhere, because I have it packed in a different spot and it's not really packed in there that good. But like I said, don't get me wrong, this is not a lot of chew. This won't even give me a buzz. I know it sounds crazy, but it will take a while. I've not been getting buzzes really off chewing tobacco. Dip, on the other hand, I have. But I also have to throw out there, after 2 days of just non-stop chewing, I went back to some good old Copenhagen mint this morning, and it tasted flavorless. Like, it had like a breath mint taste, and it had the buzz, but it didn't have that really, I don't know, I guess I'm just so used to Durango now that it had like such a sugary, sweet, flavorful taste, and it was just awesome. Now I'm talking about the bad things about dip and versus the bad things about chew. The bad things about chew is it doesn't give you it doesn't give you that great buzz, and I don't think it lasts as long. Now dip, the bad things about dip that I don't like is dip falls over the place sometimes if you're not a beginner. If you're a beginner, you're not really good with it, it's going to fall all over the place and not really stay packed in. Over time, it even falls apart even more, which chew does too, but it's still easier to maintain. That's just anything. You can't get over that. Now, the other bad thing about dip is like I said, it does have the things that cut open your gums. And correct me if I'm wrong if that's not with all dips. That's how I thought that it all worked. And the bad things about dip is that sometimes it doesn't have the most particular flavor on your tongue if you are new to it. Now now let's talk about the good things. The good things about dip, like I said, is you do get a really good nicotine buzz. A lot of the flavors are more diverse. You can change mint, like I said, they have mint, and dipping's just, you can keep packing more. And the main thing good about dip is because you have more variety of flavors, and you have a bigger buzz, and it's basically just a bigger buzz. Now, I think the goods outweigh on the Durango. I know Durango, I don't know about Red Mint or any other chew, but the chew, whenever I chew, I put it in there, it stays in there, it mellows me out, has a really good flavor, and whenever I take it out, I can either spit it out, I can grab it, and it's done for. There's nothing left over like there is dip. Dip, sometimes I gotta spit extra, get it out there straight, because it's so packed in all over my mouth, especially if it's not long cut, or it might be Copenhagen long cut, because it's a smaller cut than the other long cuts and different brands and stuff, And another thing, like I said earlier, that it came to my attention is that whenever I went from chewing back to dipping wasn't so bad. So if there's any first-time dippers out there, you might want to try some chew first and then go into there. Another tip, don't ever go into pouches. I know a lot of people use them. Unless pouches are actually really handy if you're driving somewhere on a road trip and you need to put it in. If you can't, just throw in dip. Or if you're hunting. I know a lot of you guys like to hunt and fish or do any physical activity. Pouches would be good with that. But if you're trying to use them for first time dipping, I just honestly just get you a can of Copenhagen mint. Don't get wintergreen. I would actually suggest getting Copenhagen straight or natural or even extra long cut natural. They call it natty. That would help you guys out a lot if you want to do that. Because I think they're more milder. A lot of people don't like, because natural's going to have more of a salty, earthy taste. Straight's going to have like the earthy, but it's honestly just a sweet taste to me. Mint's going to taste like a breath mint, basically. You're going to get a killer buzz. But wintergreen, man, I did not like wintergreen. That stuff, I don't know, man. It just messes with me. I don't like the flavor. I don't like the smell. It ain't good at all. But like I said, my top 3 suggestions if you're starting out dipping or chewing is go get you a bag of Durango. Chewing tobacco, I guess it's the regular. Copenhagen mint. Copenhagen straight. I don't know if they make these in different cuts, but they're long cut, and I would suggest trying those out because they are really, really good. Now, this channel is not about dipping. I don't want anyone to get them wrong. I was just making this video because I dip. I'm a big believer in it. I love it. It's awesome. It sounds like I'm talking about religion or something. It's dipping, for God's sakes, and chewing. But if you have any questions, comment on this video, and if you did enjoy it, leave a like. If you're interested in this kind of thing and you want me to do more reviews on stuff, go ahead and do it. I'm trying to break the ice on this little vlogging review channel, I guess. I'm going to be doing some food, hopefully, doing some cooking stuff, doing some vlogs. That's what I'm into. Also have a gaming channel. It's also in the description, but I don't upload on that much anymore because I just don't know what to do. This is something I really enjoy this. It's kind of fun. If you did enjoy it, comment, and you can follow me on Twitter. It's in the channel description. But that's all I had for you guys today. Remember to leave a comment if you have any questions, and if you want to give some constructive criticism, saying, hey, you're a fat, ugly dick, that is not constructive criticism. That's being a douche. You can say, hey, you need to work on this, because I know it ain't perfect. Anyways, guys, y'all take care. See you in the next video.